basic role of the fund manager is to beat a certain benchmark and keep certain returns in mind for their clients. And hopefully you do this process on and on, and then develop a track record which is in your favor to not only beat the benchmark but also possibly your defined peer group. And that's how you build a track record. Just to give you a case in point, somebody like Mr. Warren Buffett has built a track record of compounding money for more than 3-4 decades at 20% plus in those geographies. So, that's the kind of amazing track record that Warren Buffett has, and no doubt he's one of the few richest people in the world. So, that's the power of fund management. The process is simple. I think if I have to put it very simplistically, I think it's finding those bargains that can not only match your return profile but also, to an extent, be well within the parameters defined within the offer document that you normally file with SEBI and all the other regulators. So let's say if you are running a large cap or a mid cap fund, you would have filed an offer document with the regulator defining what are the benchmarks and so on and so forth. So within the preamble of your offer document, you will chart out the investment journey that you need to take, and really look at what can contribute to you optimizing the returns, to find bargains which trade at 20, 30, 40, 50 cents to a dollar. And hopefully you want to hold on these scripts, hoping that whatever you have studied is correct, and the journey of this 40, 50, 60 cents to a dollar will finally translate into a dollar, and hence, as a natural corollary of this process, lead to reasonable returns being made by your shareholders or you. The role actually started with equity research, and slowly, as I mentioned, I graduated to look at more and more industries. Initially, it was restricted to a few industries. Once you gain proficiency on certain industries, you graduated to look at more and more industries. From an equity analyst, it can graduate into you actually understanding the hoi polloi of the industry gamut that needs to be understood. And once you have done that, the natural progression many organizations do offer today is the role of assistant fund manager. So where you are assisting the main fund manager, it's like being an assistant director. So you are being an assistant fund manager where you learn the trade or the tricks to manage more and more wealth. And between different genres, I think skill sets slightly differ, and once you have learned that, you can become an independent fund manager. From being an independent fund manager, maybe the next natural progression could be being an head equity, or where you are an head equity and also managing funds. And from being an head equity, maybe being a CIO. So this is Chief Investment Officer. And if you are further lucky, maybe the CEO also. So I think that could be the curve that you want to do. Branch of the commerce stream, so maybe an MBA, CA, CFA, so on and so forth, a cost accountant, because I think even those guys are there. Or you being an MBA engineer, or IIT or IIM or whatever that it is. I think there are different combinations. You get to meet people from different backgrounds, as well as having a host of degrees. There are some wonderful people who have great amount of skill sets. They have been equally successful in translating the entire learning that they have had in their entire life. So Really, it's a slightly varied diaspora, all ultimately aiming to give outsized returns for themselves or the investor as the case. I think the SEBI certified or the NSE, the exchanges run. So one of these poses can just add on to the main. It cannot be a supplementary. It can only be a complementary pose that you do. And alternately, I think so. There are many people even do once in a while to take a sabbatical and do Harvard or the Business School of Economics in London and so on and so forth. Even the quantitative side of the game is expanding. So where possibly we are amongst the few industries which can be impacted by, let's say, an artificial intelligence. So where you run only quantitative analysis based on a certain algorithm, if certain conditions are met, the machine will do the trade and does not require human intervention. So, the spectrum is as open as any to, you being outclassed by the computer itself. They are much faster, and the decision making is dependent on a few defined parameters or a host of parameters, and that really kind of is a threat. That even if partially today, it can keep on going. It is so forecasted that Indian markets would be among the fastest growing, and most of the FIIs globally are present here. Some of those who are not present are contemplating. But most of the industries are now global facing now. Any repercussions or any events that happen globally can impact you. So certainly the skill sets required are far more larger today and only growing because one impacts the other. And from that standpoint of view, Bloomberg and Reuters are two agencies that have platforms which have been built over here. And you think of it and it's such a powerful engine. Softer skills would also come from possibly his grasping, his ability to participate in the discussions, in pointing out new ideas. Indian organizations do carry is anybody returning from abroad carries a slight edge. But that said, I think so. One must do a full 360-degree, view about that person. Really understanding what kind of edge can he bring to the table because of the foreign exposure that he's had over a domestic guy. If he's had some work experience there, it would carry slightly more weightage because he's been exposed to a certain. But if he's not, then you want to weigh him on the same pedestal as you view any new candidate. You live with the pressures, you live with the glory, but glory is hard to come and pressures are daily. So, it's a thankless job. If you did well, you were supposed to do well. If you did not do well, what were you doing? Great joy comes from when you generate those, targeted returns and when you really do well amongst your peer group. The amount of joy is fabulous. It's one of the few jobs that pays you right throughout your learning. There is a paper called the Hindu Business Line. On every Sunday, it would rank about 240 schemes. And it would rank all these schemes irrespective of the genre it belongs in terms of pure ranking them in terms of the returns generated on a YTD basis. And when I took over, I saw that I'm almost at the bottom of the pit in the last 20, and it really kind of pained me that this is not where I want to be. My place belongs in the top 20. And 2012, December, I was number 2. And that journey was an eye-opener. Not because that I, touched the tape in terms of being number two. But the sheer joy on the people's face that I could really do it. So I think that journey till date continues. I am a top quartile one. It's amongst the top 10 percentile. So that's a great place to be. But it has its own pleasures. It has its own cons. As far as it does not impact your health, but positively impacts your health, the journey goes on. Reinforce, reassess, and keep on doing this process with some regularity, some alacrity. I think it's only a question of time before you touch success.